Good morning, everybody. It's your boy, man, coming to holler at y'all again, man, about that situation on Sunday at the church. Oh boy, that was something I didn't think was gonna happen. It was really something I did not want to do. In fact, what's gonna happen next is something I don't want to do either. But again, I'm not one that like to be pushed around, lied on, uh, you know, making it seem like something wrong with me. Because I request that you be factual, at the bare minimum honest with me, if you're gonna engage in conversation, and just be real with one another. You know what I mean? That's the area in which I come from. Now about that situation, y'all. Y'all remember me asking Deacon Elton, right? First, let me say this, man. I got to go downtown today. I've been sleeping on this and sleeping on this. I'm going downtown this morning to see if I can get a copy of that complaint or whatever. They went downtown and told the police that I intimidated or, I don't know, frightened somebody. I can't remember the words they used. Again, y'all, like I was telling one of the brothers came over and said, man, I seen that video, man, on Facebook. Man, I can't believe that. He said, man, what you be doing in there? I said, man, honestly, man, I go with my wife, just about every Sunday. I can think of one time in the last 6 months that my wife didn't go. But my wife is always with me. I don't say nothing to anyone, you know. He said, man, your wife be with you all the time. They gonna say you intimidating women. He said, man, that don't even sound right. I said, especially if you know my wife, you'll know that she kind of easy going and laid back and ain't really looking for no drama, you know. She one of them kind of people, man. So, I ain't trying to be, no drama creating person in front of my wife, man, So, and again, like I told a little brother, man, it got to the point, I could see, how they was feeling toward my wife, because the women was gravitating, the sisters in the church was gravitating toward my wife, like the elder said, I think I got it on camera, trim that. He said my wife is inviting. She ain't standoff, she ain't mean, she ain't got no nasty attitude, She's just one of them, easygoing people, But you don't want to be, rubbing her the wrong way. You don't want to be trying to belittle her. Then you'll get a different version of who my wife is. But again, my wife has never had an altercation with anyone at the church, other than when she had to say something to Andrea Maxwell about, saying something to me. Outside of that, good morning, homeboy. Good to see you, man. But outside of that, my wife ain't never had a problem with no one, at the church. So by the women just gravitating to her, in the way that they was gravitating to her, I knew something was gonna have to come. And by the way, they were still just a couple of them, I want to call her Sister Scott, but I'm just gonna call her Marcella Scott, and Andrea Maxwell. Again, two minor things that happened 12, 13 years ago. They're harboring those feelings from 12, 13 years today, and cutting off all line of resources because of their feelings from, something that was mentioned. And it was all spiritual. All of it was spiritual. They couldn't wrap their head around, and, they holding it against me today. So, with that being said, Deacon Elton, Elton Johnson, Elmo, whatever your nickname they say it was back in the day. I didn't know you by that, but it sounds funny, Elmo. When I said, when I came up and asked you, that, man, I thought you was my friend. And your response said, what makes you think I'm not your friend? And the other little guy, who, Harden, said we are friends, not, correcting him right away. Like, dude, I don't even know you. You're not my friend. And Deacon Elton, you proceeded to, Elton Johnson, you went on to proceed to say that, what makes you think I'm not your friend? And you also said that I didn't hear from you. I didn't want to mention that the little guy that was standing next to you had threw you under the bus and made it seem like that you was the corporate behind it all. But you went on and confirmed it when you dialed 911. You want you wanted to know how I knew that I misjudged you and that we weren't friends. It was based on the little guy, Harden, and then it was confirmed by you that we're not friends because friends don't call the police, they don't call 911 on each other, right? Especially about a spiritual misunderstanding or some women teaming up against all the men in the church to get the ones out they don't like, setting the tone for the church to be ran by women under the disguise of a less effective pastor. Let me just say that. So yeah, that's how I know. That's how you confirm the fact that no, we're not friends. I'm also making this video, man, because to show you the chokehold that the women have on the church. Now, I'm not so sure if they ain't called the elders meeting about this, but with the district elders, I don't know. The district elders might call one with them, but anyway, because they didn't step way outside the boundaries of how a church should conduct themselves, if you ask me. But I wouldn't be surprised. They let the little guy, I really don't know where this guy came from. When I first ran across him, he was teaching a Bible study class and pretty much working on the bathrooms and stuff in the church, like the handyman type deal. I don't really know where he came from, but I know he's not at church on Sundays. I seen him one time. Well, the first time I saw him with his wife. Personally, she had something on that was way too tight. Had this big old funny looking hat on. You see people in Hollywood have on, one of them big old fluffy things, it's flying all around. You want to be seen. And of course, y'all saw him. He's approximately 4'5", 4'5", man. I don't know, little guy. Then put on some big boy shoes that's way too big for him. And in my opinion, split the baby down the middle. And was happy doing it, as you can see from the video. He was happy doing it. Bringing this kind of shame on the church. Now, I talked with 3 more of the brothers. And this is primarily the reason why I'm making this video. To show you the chokehold, like I was finna say just a moment ago, that they got on these men in the church. I'm not gonna say it was one yet, but he left the church and came back with his resignation letter and say, look, this ain't what Bishop stood for. This is my last day. I'm handing in my resignation. I said, man, you can't do that, man. You know? You can't do that. You can't do that because the church will really be in ruins. It needs somebody to be over the church. Church needs you. You can't abandon Bishop concept. You just can't do it. Good morning, my brother. Good morning, my brother Doc X. You can't do it. So I convinced him, Brother Chuck, I convinced him not to hand it. I hope I convinced him not to hand in his resignation letter. He did not tell me he was going to call me, make contact with me. But Deacon, Elder Mackey, you know, this was my next door neighbor. This is someone that I broke bread with, Not long ago, matter of fact. This is somebody I put trust in, somebody I thought I could confide in. Chicago bred, one of my guys, he was heartbroken. Yeah, I seen it all on his face. He was in hurt mode. So man, I'm gonna call you. Yes, I'm calling you. We talk and get to the bottom of this. I'm calling this, but let me assure you that this ain't right and I ain't with it. My family, Dion, I ain't even told my family. Dion, like my extended family. He family to my extended family. We like, we connected. I'm gonna call you when this is, when we get done with this. We're gonna figure this out. I'm gonna call you today. 3 of the elders, assistant pastor, whatever you want to call them. Not to mention, and I have heard from Brother Calvin Scott. But see, you've been bed and bread the same thing I have, man. We'd have been that way. We'd have been incarcerated. We'd have stood on our one truth. We that stand on our one truth, we that know what that is, we that know how that feels and how that incorporate us as men, when we know that whoever it is that we talking to, if we don't walk away with nothing else, we walk away with the bare facts and the truth and of how they see it and believe it. I can admire talking to a man like that. Even if I don't like him, even if he's racist, I can admire talking to a man that gives me his honest opinion, his most truthful opinion about how he feel about whatever it is we talking about. I have been taught to respect that in a man when I see it. And I'm saying that to say it ain't but a few of them men in the church, and all of them that said they was gonna call, reach out. I ain't heard from not one of them. Not one. And other than, like I said, Calvin Scott. And big ups. Again, like I told you before, big ups to you, Calvin, for being a man, and for being a brother, for being a church member that know what it is to stand on truth. Reason. Know what it is that the scripture was bringing to us as a people, and that was to bring us together and not separate and tear us apart. So again, man, I'm finna go down here this morning and see if I can pull this this complaint they wrote on a brother, man. They put on me down with the Lansing Police Department and see if we can get to the bottom of why they didn't file a false complaint on your mans. And then from there, we'll figure out what we got to do to make sure we make right of it. And until then, man, y'all holler at your boy, man. Have a nice day. Peace out.